What'd you do? You attacked, you finished, and we protected Soldier Field. Let's keep this thing going now, okay? Keep it going.
Wide open, there goes Cohen 40. Midfield, big block to the 30. Oh, again, and intercepted out of the deflection. Leonard Floyd, 5, end zone. Loads up right, Todd Miller at the 25 of Detroit, breaks a tackle, end zone, touchdown. Up in the air, 2-point conversion made. Soldier Field, 24-17. Bears trying to get their 10th win. Here's the boot up in the air. Going up for it. Allen Robinson, he's got it. He's caught the ball at the 43-yard line. Flag is down. It's going to be on Green Bay. I think that'll be a fade to black moment with Allen Robinson taking it out of the air and plucking it away from any Packer within his vicinity. They huddle up. Listen to this crowd. Trubisky takes the snap, takes a knee, they head to the field. The Bears have won it 24-17 over the Green Bay Packers. And it's been an anguishing absence from the playoffs. 7 years, 11 months, 27 days. They go last to first, and they win the NFC North 2018 division champions for the first time since 2010. They're headed back to the playoffs. And these loyal fans have been rewarded for their loyalty. And they have a Bears team to be proud of right now. Fun, tight, exciting, stubborn, intense, and Matt Nagy's swag has led this team from really humble beginnings. The unknown, the great unknown of the season, had no idea what his team was going to be. He didn't know what kind of a team this was going to be when he stood before them on April 3rd in the first team meeting. But your Bears are NFC North Division champions, the 11th time they have won a division championship, the 4th in the NFC North, 2005, 2006, 2010, 2018. Champions of the NFC North, the playoffs are coming back.
The following is a presentation of the Chicago Bears Network. Now on News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM, this is the Bears Coaches Show with Bears head coach Matt Nagy, the coaching staff, and Bears management. The Bears Coaches Show is brought to you by Whitfleet, CBAs and consultants, and sponsored by Advocate Healthcare, Hilton, and the Village of Bedford Park. Now from Hallis Hall, here's the voice of the Bears, WBBM's Jeff Joniak.
And a very pleasant good evening, everybody.
You have big dreams
Welcome
for
in.
your manufacturing.
The Bears have clinched the NFC North Championship for the first time since the 2010 season, and a lot of excitement in the city of Chicago. A lot of excitement here in this building at Hallis Hall. Welcome into the program, everybody. It's brought to you by Whitfleet Financial Advisors. Here from PNC Studios at Hallis Hall, we welcome in the head coach of the Bears, Matt Nagy. Congratulations again, and is it settled in a little bit?
Yeah, it has. You know, it was a great day yesterday. Lots of fun, lots of excitement. And it was neat to see that, neat to be a part of that. Everybody, the whole city, the fans, the coaches, the players, just everybody included. And it was a special day we'll always remember. But as you know how this thing goes, it's time to move on and get ready for San Fran.
Yes, that's next on the agenda out west in the Bay Area. You know, I used to cover the Bulls during the Jordan era, and Michael, when he was at his peak and going to championships every year, he always seemed to love the new guys that came in to experience the championship ride. And he took great pride in seeing that excitement, you know. You've been in that room when you have won division titles in Philadelphia and in Kansas City. So when you see what you saw yesterday, I mean, guys that have been on this roster in 2014, they were 19-45 entering the season. So they never experienced anything like this. Is that a part of the joy of this?
Without a doubt. And for all of us included, I think that's what we as coaches have to focus in on is the fact that these guys Some of them have been on teams where they've been good players, but they just haven't won for whatever reason. And we also told them too the opportunity that was presented to us going into yesterday's game. You never know if you're ever going to get that shot again. I mean, I just look at a guy, for example, like Tony Gonzalez. You know, he played however many years it was in the NFL, and it wasn't until the very end. I want to say 16 to 18 years that he played and never made the playoffs. And so I just wanted the guys to understand they're in a great situation to make the playoffs with a win. But don't put too much pressure on yourselves and just go out and play your game. And that's what we did. And now once we won the game and knew that we clinched a spot, now enjoy it and understand that it's okay to do that. And that's what we were going to do. But I also told them that when you get back in here into the building on Tuesday, that there's more to this. And so that we, like I said last night, you know, we can be happy, but we're not satisfied yet. And we need to be able to put that in perspective. And I think that's a big part of this.
What's the buzz on the coaching staff?
Well, it's, again, yesterday enjoying it, but today it's usual business. Everyone's right back to it. I like that because we need to win. We need to continue winning, and there's no complacency, and that's going to be the biggest message to the team, to the players, and to all coaches, is that we need more, and we need to understand that. We got to keep continuing to practice the way we've been practicing. We accomplished one goal, but that's not the biggest goal, and everybody knows what that is, and there's more work to be done.
This team is selfless very easily because you've mentioned it many, many times. Just strictly looking at the offense, it doesn't flow through one guy. So, you know, I brought this up before. A guy like Allen Robinson, who had 151 targets in back-to-back years before his injury in 2017, and he was the man. Mm-hmm. Everything flowed through that. That's not the case here, and under you, it looks like that won't be that way. You know, this is going to be a spread the wealth type of team. How do you get them to play selfless? How did you do that?
So, as you go through the process, and in particular, just using Allen Robinson as an example, you know, you reach into who these guys are as people, and when you meet them and you talk to them and you see that, you get a feeling. You talk to other coaches that have coached them, and you get a feel for that as well. And so I just think that once you explain your identity on offense and how it works, and that there might not always be 15 targets for one wide receiver, or he ends up with 100 yards every game, but you lose. The guys are okay with that, and when you're winning, they're always okay with that. So we have you just said it. We have a selfless team that doesn't care about those numbers. They care about each other. They care about doing their job within that specific play, and then they get to reap the rewards for doing that. And so we have a lot of those guys on this team, and that's what we want to continue to keep building.
Was there ever a point in this season, because you're the only team in the league that's had a lead in every game in the second half, which is quite the accomplishment. You're in every game. No one's blowing a torch on you. Was there any point this season in a game, in a moment, when your heart was racing where it could have turned the wrong way?
No, not really. I think that's what's neat about this team. We got down early in the year to Arizona real quick, 14-0, and you could feel a sense of urgency from our team, and we were still young then. Yet we had the game in Miami. That was just a strange game with going back and forth, and then we get the lead, and then they recover, and then it's overtime. But for the most part, there's always from day one, there's never been any doubt from our players between each other, and there's never been any blame. It's always been positive. It's I want to make the next play to help this team. Coaches, I want to make the next call. And then when it happens, you can feel it's so strong and powerful. You feel so good about it. And we've been winning, you know, in those type of games. And we have had a couple losses. We had the one loss at home to New England. That's a good team that we played. But we never, all we did after New England was said, all right, it's time to get back on track and get and learn how to win again. And that's what we've done.
In your quiet moments, did you ever have any deep introspective thinking about how you're managing the team and calling plays and designing the offense?
I really haven't. I wish I could say I have. But this has been nonstop from the very beginning. Really, it's coming up on a year now since I was hired, and I'm okay with that. The time for me to reflect will be at the end of the season, and I don't want that to be for a little while. I just kind of rely on just kind of doing what I've done this whole time, which is it's natural, and it's relying on your coaches. It's feedback from your players. It's a support staff that everybody communicates, and we all just want to do what's right for each other. So I haven't had that time yet.
Well, here's what's interesting. You're used to winning.
Yeah, well, and that's a good thing. But I've also been on a few teams where it's gone the other way, and so when we were about halfway into the season, I told the team in one of our team meetings, this is the point right now where you're going to start seeing a lot of teams in this league. They're either going to start going south, or they're going to start getting a lot better and going north. It's one of two ways that they're going to start going, and we're at that crossroad right now. And I forget exactly which game it was, but we won that week, and we just continued to keep winning. It was during that win streak that we had. And that's when you start separating, and you feel it, and you say, okay, this is real. And then I really believe, I look back to the Vikings game on Sunday night. I think that's when to everybody we felt like, okay, here we go.
The Bears Coaches Show with head coach Matt Nagy and WBBM's Jeff Joniak continues.
Snap back, 4-man rush, big push by Mack. He got to Rodgers, and down he goes, spilling in off the left side of the Bears defense. 2.5 sacks for the Mack attack at Soldier Field, and the crowd loses its mind.
Yeah, Khalil Mack sacked most by a Bear since Richard Dent in 1993 at 12.5 right now, and still counting. Welcome back to the Bears Coaches Show here at PNC Studios at Hallis Hall. Jeff Joniak, along with the head coach Matt Nagy. We're brought to you by Whipley Financial Advisors, and the Chicago Bears Network presents Inside the Bears, brought to you by Verizon. Anthony Adams and Lawrence Greedon cover the world of Bears football on and off the field every Sunday night at 11:05 p.m. on Fox 32 Chicago, or watch anytime at chicagobears.com or on the Bears official app. I'm certain you don't have time to be searching out that stuff, but Club Dub is unlike anything in the league right now, and it's reached fever pitch as we expected it would once the ball started rolling. Have you seen some of these videos that the team has put up, and what your thought is about it?
Yeah, I've seen a few of them, and I know the guys they're having fun with it. I gave them the ability to, if they wanted to, for yesterday, to have their own phone out and video. That was a good time for them to do that, and they did it. They took advantage of it. But they got some pretty good dances that they're creating right now, and they're celebrating, and they're trying to get more and more people involved. It's getting bigger and bigger. But as we see, we'll see how it goes here. Maybe we'll get some coaches on in there. I don't know about that,
I'll pay you. Fangio go center stage and have a dance off.
We gotta get him in there, and the guys will lose it. But it's so neat. It's neat to see that it's catching on, and that's the personality of who we are. That's our team. That's what we're about. We're gonna have fun in everything that we do, and as long as you're earning it, and then you deserve to have fun, and our guys are doing it.
This town embraces teams like that. There have been teams like that in this city's great sports history, all the way back to the 63 Bears, but we're talking Bulls, there have been some really fun teams that have won championships or were knocking on championships' door many times, so it kind of fits the city's, spirit, so to speak. Was that a mission for you to do? Knowing how great a sports town this is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or your personality?
No, it's both. It's a combination of both. I think everybody likes. I mean, when you're winning, enjoy it, have fun, let your personality show, and so you can see the fans are enjoying it. The players obviously love it. They're having fun. I was
in grade schools today. They were doing Club Dub.
Is that right?
Yeah. Honestly, it is catching fun.
So yeah, I'm sure there's some good ones out there. I'm sure we'll continue to see more of them. But why not have fun?
And you were busy today working the radio waves and spreading the wealth around town a little bit, and deservedly so. To talk about it's a major accomplishment to win a division title. It's not simple to do. And then I understand you got a little podcast coming up with Coach K. I know he does one. Mike Krzyzewski. Was that pretty cool?
Yeah, it was really neat. And for me, so obviously Coach K is a big Bears fan, and growing up downtown in the city, and so just being able to talk to him throughout his podcast, for me, growing up and just knowing, how great of a coach he is, and it's an amazing accomplishment to think of all the players that he's coached and how they've gone on to either the NBA or they've all become coaches themselves and high quality, high character type guys. And I just really respect that. It was really cool to be able to talk to him. And then let me tell you something. He knew every play. He knew about every play of yesterday's game. He was detailing it up. He even, he was talking about Tariq Cohen and how much he likes him. And I told him he'd be a pretty good point guard for him. But he just was talking about how he ran out of bounds there before the fourth, on third, and made it 4th and 1. And just the details, it impressed me. It was really cool.
Well, on that play, too, because we haven't even talked about the game yet, you talked to Tariq about that.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Yeah, well, the one we talk about to Tariq is we always talk to our players in regards to reaching across the goal line.
Okay.
Was
it that then?
It was that one that he was talking about, where you see at times where that ball, when you go to reach across the goal line, that ball squirts out, and now all of a sudden, instead of having the ball at the half-yard line, now it's a touchback with the other team. But Tariq's got
Cunningham.
Yeah, exactly. So but you heard what he said yesterday. He felt pretty confident in reaching it across, and it ended up being a big play. But no, he's Coach K was just we had a great conversation today, and it was really, really special time to talk to him.
Coaches, no matter the sport, love X's and O's.
No doubt.
Love the motivation and the thinking behind a lot of things.
For sure.
The sports cross over in many different ways.
Now, more of the Bears Coaches Show with head coach Matt Nagy on News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM. WBBM.
They stagger the line of scrimmage with blitzers. They're all coming. Trubisky to throw. Zips it out there. Caught by Cohen at the 11. Runs right to the 5. Diving for the pylon. Will they give it to him inside the 1? Are they going to say step down? No. They say touchdown. Touchdown Bears. And the celebration begins in the north end zone. Bears tack on 6. 12 yards to Cohen. He hit the accelerator and turned the corner.
Yeah, that was a great run by Tariq Cohen. We were just talking about it with Matt Nagy, the Bears head coach, as we continue on to the Coaches Show, brought to you by Whipley Financial Advisors here at PNC Studios at Hallis Hall. All right, let's do some quick bullet points about the game yesterday and our remaining moments with you in our segment. Coming up next, we'll have offensive coordinator Mark Helfrich. Let's start with Mitch Trubisky. Going back over it today again, you did obviously a lot. I went back through it, man. I can't find one thing wrong with yesterday's game.
Yeah, he played really well, and I think that again, I'll get into some of the, I could sit here and talk to you for hours in regards to, play by play and tell you what he did right, what he did wrong. But yesterday, progression wise, I mean, he was really on fire in regards to making quick decisions, making strong throws with conviction. And really, and then there was a couple plays too where he was checking the ball down, and teams want to go ahead and play soft and off and not let you get any downfield throws, and you check it down to your running back and you get a 10-yard gain. And so he had a really good game yesterday, and I was proud of him for it.
Throw to Bellamy, throw to Burton in the end zone. Rifles. There was some rifle throws yesterday.
Yeah, his footwork was really good. So those are all. A lot of these throws in this offense are based off of timing. And whether it's a 3-plant throw, a 3-hitch throw, a 5-plant throw, a 5-hitch throw. And he was on time with his throws yesterday. The wide receivers ran good routes. And then there was some contested catch. Bellamy's catch there to the right, that was a tough catch. It was contested. He had a guy on his back and made strong hands catch.
One of my favorite plays, and he was outstanding in getting away from trouble just in the nick of time, but spinning away from all those, they were running diamond plus. What do you call when they have 7 DBs on the field? I don't know what that is, but, they were blitzing and coming at him from every angle. And he twists away and he fires a throw to Shaheen. Mm-hmm. A can't-miss target. I think that's a confidence builder, too, for Shaheen, that he's going to be more involved here. Was his clock ticking a different way with pressure yesterday?
Well, he had good vision, good pocket awareness in there. I think his clock was ticking. It always does. He always has a good feel for that. The more he's in this offense and he understands the concepts of what we do, his clock is going to get better. And you see these quarterbacks that are in these offenses for a long time, they sit in that pocket and they know when to get rid of the ball. They know when they have time and when they don't. And yesterday, Mike Pettin, their defensive coordinator, did a good job of mixing different pressures and dropping guys and bringing guys. So that was a good challenge for our whole offense. But Mitch did a great job of scrambling out, making a nice play there to Shaheen.
You win a division, and yet today you're being asked about, or you always say, hey, this is just the beginning. 101, 201 offense. You know, when you break it down into a college-type program and you're saying, hey, you know, the Chiefs are 501 right now. Wow. I mean, that's how much growth's coming?
Well, that's what we hope for. There's a lot more room for improvement with our offense, and but that's what's exciting is the guys know that and they see that, and then we're trying to fit in and mold this offense into the Chicago Bears offense. We want to make this is our offense. I don't whatever has happened with this offensive scheme in years past. We got to figure out how it works for us now, and we're in that kind of laboratory right now figuring it out. We're doing it in games, but that's the only way we can do it. So once the season ends, then we'll come back, and next year we'll be 202.
So could he advance even to the 300 or 400 level by next year? Or is this a process?
It could, but I'd say it's more of a process. You know, just for anybody that you talk to in the old school West Coast offense will tell you it's a good 2-3 years until you feel really comfortable and you're going, and nowadays you know a lot of these teams you just don't have that luxury. So for everything that we're throwing at these guys on offense, I really feel comfortable where we're at. I like how they're handling it. I'm really surprised, and we'll just keep growing.
Earlier today, you said Eddie Jackson and Aaron Lynch likely not season-ending ankle and elbow injuries. So we'll leave it at that as you go through the week. That's very, very good news. I was sick to my stomach when I saw Eddie go down, but it looks like it'll be okay. The defense in general, dominance not even the word right now. They are playing at a level that some of the best defenses ever have played. I mean, have you ever been around a defense like this?
I have not. No, I've been around some pretty good defenses. This defense right now, with the way that we're playing, is what I said yesterday, is completely relentless. It's just one play after the next. So if somebody has a certain play, then on play number 2, the next guy's got it. Play number 3, the next guy's got it. And then, okay, back to play, the next player. And it's just one after the other. And when you put all those guys together, it can make the opponent's quarterback's clock tick a lot faster. The offensive linemen have to, set back a lot quicker. Everything's just a little bit off kilter. And so let's keep it going, and the coaches are doing a great job too.
We didn't even get a chance to talk about Leonard Floyd. The arrow's been going up. Mm-hmm. It's a steady climb. He's climbing the mountain, and man, he may have had his best game yesterday.
I'd agree.
Okay, San Francisco. So back to the messaging laboratory this week for you. Obviously, it's continuing on and keeps going in the process. No period at the end of the sentence, but I think you got their attention. I don't think you have to worry about that. I think you know that right now about how they're playing and why they're playing the way they are. Quick 10 seconds, 15 seconds on the 49ers, though. What do they got going? Who is Nick Mullins?
Yeah. Well, he's getting more and more experience the last several games now, and he's getting more of a library in that offense. And they got good skill players with Breida and those wide receivers that they have, a great tight end in Kittle. And then defensively, they played some different guys on the back end, but the front end they have a big time game wrecker in DeForest Buckner. So he's a special player, and we're gonna have our hands full with him.
All right, we'll talk to you throughout the course of the week. Appreciate you as always. Congratulations again. Bears Nation's flipping out at the moment.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it.
The Bears Coaches Show with head coach Matt Nagy, and this hour featuring offensive coordinator Mark Helfrich. Brought to you by Whipley CBAs and Consultants, and sponsored by Athletico Physical Therapy, Verizon, and Miller Lite. Once again, the voice of the Bears, WBBM's Jeff Joniak.
Shaheen, the tight end left wing. Now he moves in motion to the right. Trey Burton, hand down tight end. So 3 receivers to the right. Snap is back. 3-man rush. They drop 8. Trubisky fires in there. Open end zone left side. Burton's got it for the touchdown. Touchdown Bears. They're back in front. 20-14. 10-16 left here in the fourth quarter at Soldier Field. 13 yards. Trubisky to Burton.
And some really good protection there. That's where I want to start with Mark Helfrich. Thanks for being here, and congratulations to you and the rest of the staff.
Well, appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. Great description once again. Although that was a nine-man drop on that one. They
really? I missed one?
So it was really, really good protection.
They did have me on my toes because there were times I was counting up the DB numbers, and there were 7 DBs, and they're blitzing from all over. So yeah, but the protection overall, I mean, I think in the last 2 weeks, at least from my perspective, maybe I've undersold how good they've been, against the Rams and the Packers, and really steady all year.
It has been steady all year, and had a couple really uncharacteristic guys get beat. We had Charles Leno on a missed assignment one time, and Bobby Massey on really just flat out got beat, which that shocks you, and that's a good thing when it's shocking when your edge guys get some pressure on them. But overall, I thought our guys managed yesterday. Mike Pettin, their defense coordinator, did a great job of changing up a bunch of stuff, mixing up looks, like you said, from several different personnel groups that they hadn't really shown before. And so our guys handled that and weathered kind of a similar storm to that first game, where the comeback came and we looked it right in the eye this time and finished it.
Yeah, we talked a little bit with Matt about it. We didn't really break down the game that much, so we'll give you that opportunity. Just overall footwork, fundamentals, eyes, comfort, calmness, that pretty much described Mitch Trubisky yesterday.
He did a great job. A couple of those plays early on, the 5-yard throw that A-Rob breaks the tackle becomes a big play. The check, come to your check down, where Jordan created some yards. Those got the day kind of rolling. Of we just wanted some completions early to get him rolling. And I thought one of kind of his best sequence was we had 3 just stone cold drops in the second half, and that's where as a guy who listens to other people and a guy who lets that stuff get in his head, that could have showed up, and I thought not only him but the other guys just battled through that and finished the deal.
So in general, this team has proven to be resilient, even though I know some people might say, well, how they're 10-4 and they've had the lead in every game in the second half this season, which no other team has, but there's moments in a season, there's moments in a game where they have been extremely resilient. And let's just focus on the offensive side of that. Where have you seen that resiliency come to fruition with this team in terms of the offense?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a short show, right? We have a lot of areas where guys have not only individually but collectively just improved. Again, yesterday, not our best day by any stretch running the ball, but had a couple big time plays. Jordan's untouched on a 10-yard run. Guys executing all over the place. Protection, as you said, the communication part of it, and then just the fortitude. A lot of guys that haven't been in this moment and been the guy on a team in this moment. Trey Burton, finishes the deal. He's been on a Super Bowl team, but not been quote unquote the guy, and had a couple drops. He's one of those guys with those drops, and to persevere through that is huge. Looking down the barrel of a guy who's been there, done that, and coming back on you. Everybody's the stadium was a little uneasy there for a couple minutes, but finishing that in that fashion against that quarterback, against that team, we know what that means to the people around here.
The Bears Coaches Show with offensive coordinator Mark Helfrich and WBBM's Jeff Joniak continues.
Snap back, they're bringing a blitzer, he's free. Trubisky trying to avoid, breaks the tackle, spins to his near side, lofts it down the near side to Shaheen at the Packer 45. Some Mitch magic in the pocket there, avoiding the blitzer, who came in untouched, ad-libbed the play, spun away to the near side, and Shaheen, you can't miss the target. 23 yards and a Bears first down.
Well, the one thing about that, the eyes never left looking. To sense the spin and the blitzer come, but his eyes kept downfield. Was that the key to that?
That was a big time play. That feel, that escape of how he did that is textbook. You drill that constantly, but that's innate. To have that sixth sense of kind of the space of not only where the defender's coming from, but the safe spot of where you're going, and then to keep his eyes up and finish that was huge. And again, Adam Shaheen is a huge target that we're excited to have back and healthy, and he did some really good stuff yesterday.
I mean, it could become a huge weapon right now. I mean, he's feeling good, and you can't miss him.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
But when you throw the little route, he picks up 9 yards, 10 yards. I mean, he's like a bull in a china shop.
Yeah, no question. We had a little short post action to him there, and again, he has so many things, including on the big conversion that we're talking about, the missed tackle completion. He kind of had a little busted assignment on the beginning of that play. So again, his best football is ahead of him, no question.
When you talk about assignments, MEs or whatever, mental errors, have they shrunk as the season's gone on, or do they crop up a fair amount just because you're putting out a new show every week?
Yeah, I mean those things are going to happen. And that's you want everybody on the same page 100%, right? 11 guys doing the same thing. That sounds simple, but it isn't always the case. From the route concept, the protection concept, how we're redirecting the protection maybe, and then you have to execute it technically. And somewhere in there, something's not perfect, and that's what we're gonna always try to strive for that. And our guys have always come back, win, lose, or draw, with a great attitude to improve, and that's all we can ask.
This is your first year here, but for these guys who have had to deal, you mentioned that quarterback in our last segment. That quarterback is Aaron Rodgers, and he gives you an upset stomach as a fan, as a broadcaster, because with the ball in his hands at the end of a game, I don't care how much time's on the clock, until you put him away, he's a threat. In some sense, do you get from being here in this building that in many regards was a necessary hurdle to clear for this football team mentally, for the guys that have endured his last-second heroics and ways of beating the Bears? I don't know if you can get a feel for that or not.
Yeah, I mean, I know the history of football. I know certainly the history of the two franchises. Absolutely. There's a lot of blood on both sides of that deal, and they've had a ton of success recently. And all we know is this year and this game and today, and that's all that matters, right, of how we're going forward and getting ready for the next thing. But yeah, I mean, that's something that you put in your memory bank of good stuff. You still improve on the stuff that wasn't perfect, and you move on. And excited about the direction we're headed. And again, everybody has had a great attitude. Winning helps that, no question. But the fashion that they've in which they've handled success has been good to this point.
Tarik Cohen, when he hits the accelerator and gets room to go, when he hits north and south, I dare say he's one of the best, in the league in terms of where he's going with the football and whatnot. Is he playing faster now? And I know he loves going sideways too, but you never know what's going to happen. But when he's getting vertical on somebody, look out.
I think that's what he's done the best, so far these last couple weeks. Coach London's done a great job of just, again, harnessing the guy. Hey, get him pointed in the right direction, get his first step right, get his target, his aiming point, his eyes right, and good things are going to happen in the pass game and the run game. He and Mitch are on the same page. The touchdown to the right was a kind of a hot route situation where they had to be on the same page, get the ball out, and he did his best Joniak impression there on the extension and the touchdown, but and then putting his foot in the ground and getting some big gains in the run game has been obviously a very big deal here these last couple games.
The Bears Coaches Show with head coach Matt Nagy continues exclusively on the home of the Bears, News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM, WBBM.
Our remaining moments with offensive coordinator Mark Helfrich before we revisit Matt Nagy from earlier in the program. The powerful noise-canceling technology that helps NFL coaches block out 80,000 screaming fans can get you closer to the music you love. Learn more at www.bose.com/Bears. Bose, the official headphones of the Chicago Bears. Players have said, they've been on record as saying it, they've never had more fun in their respective careers individually. For you, you've had great success at the college game, but on the fun meter, where are you at in your football playing life and football coaching life right now with this bunch?
Well, no, we're definitely blessed in that way of our guys get it right now. And again, winning cures a lot of ills and covers a lot of things up. But our guys get that it takes a lot of hard work, a lot of hard work to cut it loose. And to just be able to play fast and free and have fun. And Nags has done a great job just of the whole BU thing and selling that and believing it and living it, really. And yeah, there's a lot of fun moments, and then there's a lot of times where you're going, okay, if fun returns this kickoff, we're back. You're thinking of the next thing, and you're absolutely relishing what happened yesterday. But then at the same time, you're looking ahead to a great challenge on the inside of this defense coming up. So no, very, very, very lucky to be where I am and where we are. As you've alluded to, this is a great place to be and a great time to be here.
Yeah, it's a little bit like the devil on the shoulder, right? When you're trying to embrace the moment, but yet,
you got to play the what if, right? You got to play the onside kick. You got to play all those things that are coming up.
Yeah, you really can't ever. I mean, can you enjoy and live in the moment?
It's different. I mean, you savor it, kind of as a competitor. You relish that part of it. but you can't sit there and think about that at that time. You know what I mean? Afterwards, you know, we always joke, hey man, that would have been a great game to watch in a bar, but you're not thinking that during the game, you know, type of deal. But no, excited about our guys.
As a coach also, and you've been a head coach too, when you go home and you hear, hey, great job, are you able to accept that, or are you just, yeah, you know, it's nice, but...
It's nice, but, you know, that's the same thing, and no offense to anyone, but that's the same person that's going to walk around the corner and go, that guy's, you know, an idiot. Yeah. In the next week if we lose, you know, type of deal, or the previous week of...
Or even your wife?
Well, my wife is always right. I'm happily married. Well, at least I am happy. I'm not sure if she's happy. I've been gone a lot right now, so she's probably very happy.
Yeah. All right, quick snapshot look at the 49ers defense. What are you looking at?
Well, a couple guys that I'm very familiar with, coached at Oregon. DeForest Buckner and Eric Armstead are two unbelievably talented guys, relentless guys. Inside,
super long.
Yeah. They're 6'7" plus, 290, 300 type guys, and you know, athletic and relentless. You know, kind of like our front. You know, in a lot of ways, you combine maybe the the best aspects of all those guys in a way. Kind of if you combined Khalil with Leonard and Akeem, and you know, spit them out. So tremendous challenge, but we have, you know, best defense in the league to prepare with and against, and a lot of experience doing that. So again, excited to prepare for them.
Matt Nagy, thanks for listening to everybody. For Mark Helfrich, Dan Barilli, Eddie Gersher, Rob Hart, I'm Jeff Joniak. It's Bears and 49ers with a 3 o'clock kickoff Sunday in San Francisco. Thanks for listening and have a great night, everybody. This is News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM WBBM.
WBBM in HD Chicago, WCFS FM and HD1 Elmwood Park, Chicago.